everyone, welcome. Glamour, Jen, Queen, Risa, Sadie, Final Fantasy, Taylor, Dylan, welcome. Nori, welcome. Thank you guys that have invited. I appreciate that. Tonight's going to be a good show. As everyone enters, if you could share the broadcast out, it'd be greatly appreciated. It's okay, I still need 3 followers. 3. Everyone, as you enter, if you could share the broadcast, that'd be greatly appreciated. We have a good show tonight. Tonight's show is with Team Victor and some issues he's had. Welcome to the broadcast, Teeson. Jesse, thank you for inviting. Yeah, Bray, get on a reminder if you could. Thank you guys for the likes, I appreciate that. Official Gareth, welcome, welcome. Reckless, thank you for the invite. Hey, Teeson. Thank you, Bray. Everybody that's entering, thank you so much for inviting. We'll be starting very shortly. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Looks like, let's see, who's here? Team Victor, great! Well, it's good because, guys, we have a good broadcast tonight, and this is going to be an interesting broadcast. I really think it is. We have Team Victor on today, and he is a broadcaster on the platform, been here for quite some time, and wants to discuss a few things that's on his mind. And if you don't know who that is, this is Team Victor. I'm sure a lot of people have been to his broadcast and have seen his content. So let's see. Guys, thank you so much for everybody that invited. I appreciate that very, very much. Also, thank you for the likes that have been given. I appreciate that as well. And if you guys have questions during the broadcast, put them in the chat, and I'm sure someone will write them down if I don't see them. The chat's not moving that fast, but sometimes I miss them. And we'll answer them right on the broadcast. So let's just get right on into it and bring on Team Victor. I hate this new guesting way. All right, let's see. Oh, it went the first time. Gotta love that.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Hey, everybody.
I'm very good.
Well, that's good.
Can everybody hear him okay?
Yeah, can everybody hear me all right? I hope the audio is good.
You know I'm the king of tech issues.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, are you ready?
I mean, I don't know. This could go one of two ways. We're really good. I mean, I'm excited. I'm really excited. But I guess I'm a little nervous. I guess you could say coming into this, I was kind of nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know. It just, I want to. The volume is kind of quiet. I don't know if I have any headphones.
Oh, my volume's quiet?
I think it's mine.
Oh, okay. Because I can louder mine.
Okay.
Let me see.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay.
Okay, that's odd that they can't.
Oh, Victor's is... Okay, hold on. Let me try one other thing here.
Okay. We'll do anything it takes.
How's that?
How's this? Everybody? A little louder, maybe? Maybe a little louder, be better?
Right, I know. Victor's got that soft tone in his voice,
Oh my gosh, this isn't good. Kinda better? Kinda? I don't know. Is something covering the mic? It's not, no. How's this?
Do you have the earphones that have the little mic next to it?
Well, see, that's what I wish I had, but see, I'm in my phone,
Oh.
so I didn't think about that really. I can hear Victor. I think what's gonna have to happen is when you ask a question or something. Thanks for the tips, by the way.
Yes, Nori, thank you.
Whatever happens, I guess you just ask a question, then I'll try to speak up louder and kind of yell. I mean,
Okay,
not really
yeah.
yell, but just speak up louder.
Yeah.
We'll,
And it's kind of like when you move to a warm climate and you're in a cold climate, you acclimate and you'll acclimate to his voice.
Exactly. Well put.
All right.
Okay, well, let's dive in.
Yeah. So, wait a minute. Let's go backwards. So, tell everybody for those that don't know you, a little bit about who you are.
Well, my name's Victor, obviously, ironically, right? I mean, you couldn't tell that at all, but, anyways, well, I guess a little bit about who I am and why I came to this app was, I'll just kind of give a short summary of what happened in order for this to happen. About 3 years ago, I went through kind of a family crisis situation where my parents were moving to a new place, and I decided that as an outlet, I was going to go through, I guess, YouNow, because I didn't know what it was about. I mean, I had friends tell me, oh, have you ever been to YouNow? Do you know that there are people on there that, talk about things that are going on in their life or whatever? They just get away from their problems. And I said, okay, well, I have plenty of problems, so let me try this out. I want to get away from some of them, And I guess after some time, I kind of started to realize that for me personally, it was more meaningful than just an app to go on and have fun and make people laugh. It was more of like, this is how I feel about certain things, so tell me how you feel, and let's connect on this deep kind of level that really you don't find much of. Most people want to horse around and clown around and stuff like that, which is good to do too from time to time, but it's also good to have that balance of, look, it's okay to be sad about certain things, it's okay to be depressed, it's okay to have these times. Oh my gosh, Charlie, thank you so much for the 2000.
Oh yes, thank you.
All these things now trending, all these things that I guess kind of go into mental health, and for me personally, I was like, well, hell, I can bring to the table something that kind of focuses on mental health. So that's when I started streaming, and I had just a few people at the time, about 8, 9 people that would come in, and I created a group called the Family, because to me, I wasn't ever close with my family. I'm still not that necessarily
Hmm.
that close with my family. So for me, even though it might be virtual, it felt like a tight group of people that you could call that kind of a family, because people were sharing suicidal thoughts, depression, things that were going on at home, everything you could absolutely think of that has to do with just something that affects your mental state. Because we all know, if your mental state's not there, your physical state's not going to be there either. People don't think about it, but your mental state does affect your physical state. If you're not okay up here, out here you're not going to feel good. So for me personally,
Right.
it was important, no matter how many people you talk to, every single person matters in this world. And I think for me personally, it was really important to me to realize that even if you don't have a lot of people in your streams, or even if you don't have necessarily a lot of people that you know, one person makes an impact in this world. And if you can change one person's life, then that person can tell the next. It just keeps a chain that keeps growing. It doesn't matter, you know, about how many people you get in your streams. It doesn't matter about how many likes you get. It shouldn't matter about that. It should matter about what you do and how you do it. If there are more people that really care out there, I feel like mental health is something that may not really be focused on necessarily. For whatever reason, I think some people don't really want to think about it. I think some people come on here to distract themselves from reality. But I think it is good to have a reality check every once in a while. And if I can do that for people, that's what I do. So that's a short, summarized version. That's what I'm still doing. I've taken a few breaks. I had some people use me for attention, but at the end of the day, the way I feel about it is I don't want to assume that someone's using me for attention. So I go through talking to everyone that I can, and if they use me, they use me. I would rather not, sit there and assume, oh, they're using me, and then find out later, oh, well, so-and-so killed himself, and, this and blah, blah, blah. Then you're sitting there and you're like, well, I thought he was using me for attention. You never know who's really using me for attention or not. And even if they are using me for attention, then there's a problem within itself. They're either not getting the security they need from friends, from family, from whoever. So, anyways, hey Jim, hey Fatima. Anyways, but yeah, that's just a little bit about me. Was that good? Was that kind of?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And if people do remember, before you took a break, you used to broadcast at midnight, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because I remember that. I used to go to that when you had that there.
Yeah.
So you talked about mental health, and on Saturdays, I don't know if you're aware of it, but a few broadcasters get together and go under that hashtag, and they'll take, like, okay, you take this hour, I'll take this hour, and try to be there for whoever's there. And yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of things that go on in social media where people search out answers or just somebody to talk to. And I do remember before you left, that's what you were doing on all of your streams, right?
That's exactly what I was doing. The main reason why I left is I had a bunch of people kind of start drama and accuse me. This was when I was really close to getting partnered too. I mean, I was literally maybe a month away from being partnered if I kept going at the rate that I was going at. And I had hundreds of people coming to my broadcast saying, oh, I have this going on, can you help me with it? We talked for hours off stream. Because, for me, it wasn't just about talking to people on stream. If there is an ongoing problem, we talk to them off stream as well. And of course, if it's really serious, you need to refer them to a professional, obviously. Because I'm not no professional by any means. I would like to think I have good social skills, and I'm able to know kind of what to say and how to say it, I guess, as to say. But no, I mean, it was definitely really a big experience, but I grew from it. I think I realized that it doesn't really matter what other people think about you. You shouldn't allow what other people think about you to define how you present yourself. So if you have a dream or an aspiration that you want to follow, you stick to it and don't let people drift you away from that. Because I believe that I let myself do that. I let myself think that, oh, well, because being different, because wanting to do this particularly on, an app like this where we have people like Brady, or you have people like Sully, or you have people like that are kind of, I'm not bad-mouthing, I'm just saying kind of mess around necessarily in their streams, or are more out there, or more don't really give a fuck, pardon my language. kind of that aspect. I didn't want that aspect. I like having that now and then, but I also like that serious aspect. I like saying, okay, this is the way things are, and this is a solution. Well, we're going to analyze the problem, then we're going to come up with a solution. A, B, C, and D.
Yeah, and it helps out the broadcaster as well that's doing those kinds of streams, because people, there tends to be this disconnect in, like, okay, well, nothing ever goes wrong with that broadcaster. There are things, everyone's human, and it can be very therapeutic for the broadcaster as well.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Caitlin.
Did you check out any other platforms before coming to YouNow?
I did. Well, I tried Live Me. That was a really big fail. I really didn't know what I was looking at, and then I found out there was some guy that wanted to hunt me down the street. So, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, Amy. She must have liked that one there.
Thank you, Amy.
No, I mean, it was okay. I mean, it was just a little odd, because I was streaming, and the next thing you know, I didn't realize that it's people that are local. You don't realize that you have your local services on like that. And so I'm looking around, and this guy goes, "You live in so and so," which was the town that I live in, And I'm
oh my god.
I'm like, well, I might, I don't know why. Trying to tell me, And he's like, well, I live there, and we should hang out sometimes. And I was just like,
yeah, we'll get right on that.
Yeah, we'll get right on that. So yeah, I tried out Live Me. Before I even came to YouNow, I tried an app called Friendline, which is kind of ironic. It was owned by a Chinese corporation that apparently was using stolen people's PayPals to pay their broadcasters.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So let's just say that I didn't even know any of this. So of course none of us got held accountable for any of it. But we're sitting there, and I was like one of the top people on the app at the time, which I was doing the same thing I'm doing on here, mental health. And I used to do prank calling. That was a specialty I had as well at the time. And I was making sometimes for team members Friendline, I was making some pretty good, it was $50 a day per contest, which to me is pretty good. You have to have a certain amount of viewers and a certain amount of viewer hours. So they based it not off of, they didn't have likes. It was viewer hours, so it was depending on how fast your chat was moving and how many people were watching, which was kind of cool. I mean, that was kind of cool. It was definitely a lot more challenging than kind of like per se. I feel like YouNow is more based on likes and based on kind of fans and stuff like that instead of content and who wants to watch you, which I think is something that should be changed. I feel like there are a lot of good broadcasters out there that may not have the viewership, but that doesn't mean that they don't deserve to be partnered or necessarily have that spotlight put on them. So yeah, I tried out Friendline for a while, and then it ended up getting taken down because they found out that those people were stealing that money, and they ended up just giving us whatever we had made off the app. And I was only 16 at the time, no, 15 actually. So I mean, they couldn't really do much. I was a minor anyways. So I mean, we're all minors on this app, and we're kind of like, what's going on? It's all crashing front of our face. So then everyone told us about YouNow. YouNow was the next big thing after that, and that's when I started. And I really didn't know what the hell this app was. I turned it on and I went, "What is this?" Because you don't understand it when you first get on it. You're kind of like, "What's
right?
Board? What's this? What's that? What's a gift? What's that?" I didn't find out really. I didn't really have a grasp on any of that until about a year ago. I didn't realize kind of the gift aspect. What it takes to really get up there as far as a YouNow standard. So, anyways, I hope that answered your question, kind of.
Oh yeah. And how many years have you been on YouNow?
Off and on, or are you talking about like strictly trying to stay
on? Well, from the time that you first started your account.
3 years.
Okay, and so 3 years, and you've been actively broadcasting.
For right now, I've been actively broadcasting for maybe about, well, as of right now, literally only about 2 months ago, I got back into it. So
now, the people that you had back then as an audience, before you left. Have they returned?
Oh yeah, Caitlin is one of those people that used to watch me back then. Fatima is one. Rachel is one. I have people that have watched me all the way back from the Friend Life days that moved strictly from that app to watch me on here. Now, a lot of people that I had back then, because I would go live so late, I had a lot of international viewers. England, Australia, because Australia had that 12-hour shift. So a lot of my viewership is very, I guess you could say, diversified. So unfortunately, because of the times that I go live now, because I go live with my fiance sometimes, or I'll go live just individually during the day, I don't really get that viewership that I used to or that I would like to, but that doesn't mean that they don't want to be there or that they don't support. It's just that, of course, not only that, but other people have things going on in life. Sometimes, it's not, they can't always make it, and I understand that, I'm not going to hold a grudge because they can't make it. Everyone's got their own life outside of this, so.
Right, yeah. So let's ask this question.
Oh, Lord.
So one of the reasons that I wanted you to come on was because I heard that you had some concerns about the platform.
I wouldn't. Here's my thing. Okay. When I first started doing YouNow, there was a misconception that you had to look a certain way in order to be good on this app. And the way to look was happy with a smile. And if you're a female, maybe wearing something that necessarily reveals a little more, so that if you're appealing to a certain audience, such as middle-aged men that come in there and do not mind giving plenty of likes to see something like that. So kind of you have this misconception, that you're kind of sitting there and you're like, well, it's not really based off of content. It's not based off of, hey, Charlie. It's not
right. Thank you, Charlie.
It's not based off of who you are, what you present yourself as. It's more based off of the way you look, how many likes you get, who spends the most money on you, even if you're not partnered, which what really beats me up the most is so many of these producers in Red Crowns who have 5 Red Crowns, like Mark Paley, have spent a shit ton of bars on me, and they will never see that ever again. Because the reason for that is because, one, you don't have a gold camera, so none of that goes to the broadcaster. It all goes towards trying to get the broadcast to that point, which you don't have a clear path of that. You don't know whether that's really going to happen or not. You don't know. So that's, I think, what not really necessarily pisses me off. It just is a concern that I have, because you have a lot of hardworking individuals, such as myself, or such as you, for example, that go out of their way to, whether it's a talk show, whether it's just to make people laugh, or whether it's what I do to have serious conversations with people. If you're making this kind of impact on this platform, I think you should be recognized for it. And a lot of us consider partnership as a recognition for that.
So, with the current requirements for partnership, do you think those should be changed?
Well, believe it or not, they've lowered them since when we first started. You and I first started.
Yeah.
They've lowered them quite a bit. Just because the app died a lot. Over the last year, it's very hard to hold a viewership of 30 now. Very hard. You go into some partners broadcast and you sit there and go, how are they partnering? They have only 7, 8 people in there.
Right.
So, you have a requirement now of 5,000 fans at least. You have a concurrent viewership of at least 30 viewers, and you need a total viewage of at least 600 people. Now, I have the concurrent viewage of 30 people. I don't have necessarily the total viewage of 600 people, but then again, I don't go live for long. I go live for maybe an hour. In order for me to get about 600 viewers, I need to be having a bump in broadcast with about 100,000 likes, and I have to be live for at least 2 hours. So that gives you an idea of how unlikely that always is to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not that it isn't unlikely to happen. Because it's been happening a lot for me lately. Right now I sit in fourth as far as the holiday contest. which is a lot better than I thought I would. I mean, I started 6 days ago, and the contest started on the 5th of December, and I already caught up with, a bunch of people that I didn't know to catch up with at all. And now we have the potential for me to slide in third and possibly get an automatic partnership just off of a contest. But one thing that I heard, which I don't like, which needs to be fixed too, is there's certain people that do certain things to get likes. For example, Dimitri Violet, who's in third right now, I'm not judging and I'm not criticizing or anything. It's just the way she streams. I understand it. But she was drinking in her broadcast, whether it was vodka or whiskey or whatever. And to me personally, that's just me. I'm not everyone, and I don't know if you can agree on this or the audience, but I would not be drinking excessively to people that I know that they're teens on the app, people like that who are going through certain problems or have certain thoughts or certain mindsets. When you're at an age where you're really likely to be vulnerable and you see something like that, you may think that that's the way you handle situations, or you may think that's the way to have fun, and it's really not. It's really not. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, and I'm not going to tell you not to drink at all in your life, but don't do it to a point where you depend on it. Don't do it to a point where you make it something where it's like if you don't have it. I mean, that's the way my grandfather was, Unfortunately, that's the way he was. He was an alcoholic, but he was a good man. It didn't mean he wasn't a good man. It's just that substance took control of some of the decisions that he made.
Right.
And I regret that a lot. And I'm sure he would too if he could look back on it, if he were still here. But, I mean, what it comes down to is it's about how you want to be pertained on this app. And for me personally, I want to be known as the guy that saved so-and-so or did this for someone, or he went out of his way to do that, or he really busted his ass off even after getting a partnership in order to sustain what he had. And he really did keep his promise, and he didn't just bullshit us and get a partnership and then leave. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
You didn't put in all that effort, and then you're like, oh, I'm partnered, okay, let me quit now. It should just make you want to work harder. It should make you want to even strive for more. Even after, if you get a sub button, keep going for more. If you want to build that on other platforms, build it on other platforms. Don't just stop at YouNow, because if you have a chance to save the world and people in the world, YouNow should not be the only platform that you go on to do that. But it should be used. I think YouNow is a really good alternative platform as far as, well, I mean, I'm sure you realize this too. There are a lot of people from different countries on this app. I mean, a lot. So, I mean, if you can get out to people like that, whether you're going live in the morning, being like, yo, man, I hope you're doing well. And then be like, oh, no, I'm not doing well. Well, okay, let's talk about it. Come in here and get some, let's talk about it. And then you get the audience involved. Well, what do you think you should do about this? I've had some people come to me and go, my girlfriend's cheating on me and blah, 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 blah. How should I deal with this? And I'm kind of like, well, first of all, you should realize that there's someone always better for you out there if they're really doing that to you. And you're going to find that person, but don't go out looking for it. I mean, that was my mistake, is when, I thought that I needed to go out and look for something like that. But really, you don't have to. It comes to you. It comes to you. Let that come to you. So, don't force that. Don't force that. Never force anything. Let it come to you.
So what would you change as the means of getting partnered? Because the average the average time frame that I've seen, at least since I've been here, is 6 to 8 months. Someone getting partnered, brand new to the platform.
Well, I'm gonna switch that around and ask you a question on this. Do you think
Sure.
it's fair? Do you think it's fair that some people that barely have any fans have obtained a partnership?
Well, here's what I would say about that. To me, and I don't know if it's true or not that this falls into it, but if somebody is partnered and they have 6, 7, 8 people in their broadcast, all that means to me is, how did you get your partnership? Because if you had the views, the people in there, if you had the 30, then you should have 30 in there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have that number, to me, that seems suspect to me.
Yeah.
How you got your partnership.
I agree with that. But the other thing is, though, which I have read, but believe it or not, I applied for partnership. That's a story I wanted to tell, actually. I applied for partnership a month ago. before the
Mm-hmm.
contest, before the holiday contest, before all the
Right.
success that I'm having right now at the holiday contest. And they told me, they responded, and I'm talking, just listen to this. I had Rachel, I had John, I had over 25 people sending an email, descriptive email, not just, hey, partner Victor, a descriptive email explaining how I helped them and how I impacted them in each of their lives. Whether it was
Mm-hmm.
talking to them on the phone, whether it was something going on, like for John, it was with his aunt. You know, she was sick and his outlet was being able to come and watch me and whatnot. I had a lot
Yeah.
of people send me an email like that, and I didn't even ask them to. They just did it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I kid you not, they sent me just like a generalized, it looked like a copy and paste kind of thing, just bullets, you know, like,
Right.
you know, the partner team has reviewed, blah, blah, blah. It took about 4 days, and they told me basically, we look forward to partnering you in the future once you hit these goals. You know, our best partner started where you started, and blah, 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 blah. And it's just kind of like, okay, all right, cool. Well, my best friend gets to respond the next day after his long, I'm talking like 3-paragraph long email saying, tell Team Victor to apply for partnership. Well, I'd already applied for partnership, so they didn't read the emails in the order before they even reviewed my partnership. They were reading those emails after I'd already applied, even though those emails came in first before I applied. So,
Right.
I mean, it's kind of like, really? Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it's odd to me, I guess. It's weird. I'm not going to, I don't know. It did hurt me a lot. I really took it hard. I'm not going to lie about it. I took it really hard because, I've busted my ass off on this app for a long time. And I felt like I really could be someone that really shows that you can be a genuine person and be partnered and not have to be something you're not necessarily, and really have fun with what you're doing, and that it's okay to be sad sometimes, or it's okay to show emotion in a broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
I wanted to show that a partner could do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And when you talked about how the one email came back before or after Venus, there's definitely an internal disconnect, but it's up for us to offer them alternatives to make. What she's saying is, a lot of times people will send in an email to the office, right? Support. And they want them to do something, yet what they want them to do is not even clear in that email. There's a lot of holes in the email. And I think that's why we keep getting like generic responses that are what looks to be generic responses. Yeah. Because let's say I send a picture of this right here, this screenshot of just our 2 pictures.
Yeah.
And tell them I have a problem, this is a problem or whatever, but I leave half of it out and all they have is a picture. What are they supposed to do? Not for your situation. I'm saying, when people are sending stuff back. Yeah. You got to point things out in your response to them, correct. And a lot of people just don't do that. And that's what makes it hard for everybody because, you send something in and you're like, well, what is this? And trust me, I have sent emails to them and they've answered my email with a question I didn't even ask. Yeah. So it's like, okay, what is this? Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Yeah. So you said your email had bullet points in it. Now, was that, I'm going to guess because I've applied before, would that have been, oh, well, you need to get 5,000 fans, that type of thing? Yeah. Because I've gotten that email.
Yeah. It pissed me off, didn't it?
I know they do partner people under 5,000.
They do. There's a kid that was 12 years old in First and Guys, like literally a month ago. I've never seen this kid in my life. Had 838 fans and was partnered at a level 2 with 143 people in his broadcast.
Where'd he come from? Well, did he come from YouTube?
Don't know. But he didn't have any social medias connected. So that's what confused me. I mean, if you came from YouTube, wouldn't you have your YouTube connected to your younow?
Well, I would assume.
So, I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't want to be rude about it.
I understand the frustration, and I really do. And most of the people in here can tell you, like, I was in a contest that I won. And months after the contest, it was still not announced. It took a month and a half for them to give me the answer that, oh no, that leaderboard was misleading. You didn't win. We've already told the people that won. Have a nice day. So I get it.
Really?
Really. So
Why did they do that?
the thing is, because think of it from this aspect. It's a company, right?
Yeah.
They can do whatever they really want, right?
I mean, yeah. Basically, yeah.
So this is how I looked at it. If I legitimately won, because I have the screenshot, and they didn't give it to me, I already answered the reason why. That's their answer. They're not going to change their, that's how it is. The way I look at it is this. To get partnered, one of the requirements is 5,000, right? So I'm at halfway there. I'm going to just work my butt off just to get that, just to prove, I'm going to do this. There may be people on the platform that have been handed it, but, it's kind of like you can't go back in the past and take something away, or, if it's in the past, it's in the past. If it's happened, it's happened. And what do you do to move forward and make what your goals are happen? Yeah, trust, I've applied 3 times. 3. And they point out, well, do you have this? Do you have this? And I know. And yeah, absolutely. You have done a lot on the platform for a lot of people. And I mean, I know that because I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that. And I don't know, Venus, we're not saying that it's a horrible and unfixable thing, because, I mean, if I'm being honest with you, and I'm sure you can agree with this, it's pretty incredible right now that I'm in 4th place, considering the fact that I only started 6 days ago as far as the holiday contest goes. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. But here's my question to you. So when was this contest, and was it similar to what I'm in right now, that I have the potential to possibly win?
Well, what did you say? You said the contest you're in?
Yeah, I said the contest that you were in.
Oh, for me, no.
Was it the same as like what I'm in, or
No. The contest that I was in, I actually didn't know what was going on. It was a 48-hour contest, and I entered 8 hours after the start. It was most shares, and so I beat the partner person and the non-partner person. And it was, 48 hours. I just nonstop broadcast for the whole thing when I came into it. The award was 48 hours for Editor's Choice.
Yeah.
And in my mindset, I know it's a lot of fake numbers in that, in Editor's Choice, but like they said, for other competitions, if it's the award is you're going to become partnered, you have to have that 5,000. If you don't have it, we'll help you get it, but we won't partner you until you get it.
Yeah.
So I look at it as a boost to get to that number. But the other thing is, like you said, there's people with gold cameras that have 8 people in their broadcast. So do you want... See, it's like it's a two-way thing, Do I want to get it and not have people there because I don't have the viewership? Or do I want to go and do it the other way by getting those viewers along the way?
Are you asking me that?
No. I'm just saying in general. That's just a question that I would ask myself.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think both for you and me, it's more about, you want a wide audience. If you have something to that degree, and you have a partnership, or you have a sub button, or you have anything that obtains to being in that league, per se, you want the viewers. You want to make sure you have an engaged audience. I mean, nobody wants to go on with a partnership and have only 8 people there. If a partner says that they want to go
Right.
live and have only 8 people there, then they're lying.
Right,
So,
right.
you know.
I mean, it goes for like the sub button competitions too. You know, you get a sub button, you only get 5. You only have 5 subscribers.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess that's how I looked at it for the contest I was in. Okay, they don't want to give it to me. That's fine, but I'm gonna bust my butt even harder now to get to that point.
So what have you heard? Have you heard if you could get partnered? You know, or like, do you think that you can soon, based off of the way you?
I'm at 25. Well, I'm at 2,500 with a couple more because I just saw in the chat. So I'm halfway there. So my mindset is I know 100% I'm not getting partnered until I meet the requirements. And then I might still even wait because it's not guaranteed they're going to do it right when you hit that. Sure. But that's my mindset. You know, I've been here since 2016. Just like you, I didn't start broadcasting immediately. I've been broadcasting for about a year regularly. So, you know, it's like I can either make myself stressed out to a point where I don't enjoy doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
No. I mean, well, let me ask you this question then, and this is strictly based off of me. Do you think I have a good chance to get possibly this contest? Do you think I should go full into it and try to get that 3rd spot?
Well, you entered the contest to win the contest, right?
I mean, yeah, per se. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
if it was me and I entered it, then that means I want to win it, and I would do everything in my power to do that.
I mean,
because
I'm 200,000 likes away from 3rd right now.
And that's nothing.
That's really not.
Because people come out and support for the contest, so that's really not even an issue. Especially when you've come in late to the contest.
Exactly.
So yeah, I would most certainly do that.
Because if I can do that, and this is the way I look at it, because I've been gaining fans like crazy as far as that goes, because I guess they see you on that leaderboard. I guess that happened to you too, I don't know, but you have random people fan you just for being on the leaderboards, which is pretty cool.
Right.
But like, because I guess they discover you and they like what they're seeing, so they're like, oh, let's fan him up, whatever. But like, I guess what I would ask you is, you know, if I can get to that point, and I mean, they have to partner me once I get to 5,000, even if I...
Correct.
They have
Correct.
To. They absolutely have to. They have... But here's my thing. Don't they have to do what, you know, you want? Or is that like, because they're a company, they have control over giving you that editor?
I don't know the reason behind the whole thing. I believe that there was 2 shares contests, and nobody was announced for the second one. They told me who they said they announced, which, you know, I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Because they can make any decision they want.
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, that's why I said I can either be upset about it or keep pushing, you know, right. I'm just push myself harder.
Yeah. And that's what you should. Well, they don't have to do anything. They're not obliged to give any of us anything at all. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a business perspective. It's just like watching NBA or MLB or NFL, any of that. It's the same concept.
And a lot of people don't realize, it's a business.
It is.
You know?
It is.
Because if you were running the company and you said, okay, this person wants to be partnered, let's see, are they bringing in XX, you know, all these things? Because if you're not, then why would they partner you?
Exactly.
That's how I look at it for me. You know, if I'm not doing it, I'm not going to make money for them. Or for myself, for that matter.
And I think,
you know?
I think another thing, though, is, too, you'll see some broadcasters, and this is where I'll end with, because I do have to go here in just a couple of minutes. But I think a big thing for me was, for me personally, this is something that luckily I'm not experiencing, but some broadcasters have one particular person that drops a lot of likes on them. They don't have a balance of multiple, whether it's red crowns, whether it's just random fans. who come in and go, hey, I'm going to buy iTunes card, and I'm going to drop this certain amount on you, or I'm going to do this. It's good to have that variety, and it's good to have that wide outreach, because it shows that you're not just getting all of that income per se from one person. You're getting it from a well-rounded amount of individuals.
Right. And I think that also comes with building that up along the way, instead of just being thrown into it and you only have one person that does that.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
So, what would you like to see, as a last question, what would you like to see come to this platform? How would you like to make changes here? Like, what changes?
I think the number one thing that we all need to work on is being comfortable with who we are. Not allowing ourselves to feel some sort of, I guess, less feeling of yourself based off of watching another person, whether it's a partner, whether it's another broadcaster. You should always know your worth. You should always know who you are as a person. Don't ever let someone take that away from you, because no matter the color of your skin, no matter your sexual orientation, no matter where you come from, no matter what you want to do with your life, we're all created equal. And I strictly do believe that. And I believe that we all deserve respect and we all deserve love. The more love that we can provide for people on this app, the more people feel comfortable about themselves and say, hey, I can get a partnership. Hey, I can be just like that person. And that's what we need more of. We need more people, whether it's younger people, whether it's older people. It's good to have this diversified group of people that sit there and go, if he can do it, if she can do it, I can do it.
Right.
And that's what
Absolutely.
That's what I want to see more of. That's what I hope to bring to the table if I can get partnered. If I can get partnered through this contest and I can do anything, it's going to be raising awareness to people who show that, whether it's you, whether it's like my friend Justin, my friend John, people who make those differences that want to get somewhere, but it's one person at a time, and be okay with that. Be okay with growing slowly but surely, I guess you could say.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, very good. Very good. Well, yeah, thank you for coming on. And, guys, if you've not seen Victor, definitely swing over. What time do you broadcast now?
I'm streaming at 11 Eastern time. If I'm not doing 11 Eastern time, I'm always posting on my wall when I'm going live. So
there you go.
What happens.
And like I said, I used to go to his broadcast when it was midnight before, and it's an all-nighter most of the time. So definitely a good thing. So thank you so very much for coming in, taking the time out.
Well, thank you for hosting me. I really appreciate that. It's definitely been a pleasure to be a part of this, and I'm very thankful that there are people just like you on this app that really want to bring these kind of things to the table. So please don't stop what you're doing and keep working hard to get to where you want to, because believe me, I'm busting my ass over here to make sure that I can get to that point.
Oh, I know.
And that's why you should too. That's why we all should. If you want to do this, do it. Don't hold back on it. Just do it. It'll take time, but it'll be worth it in the long run, hopefully. But
absolutely.
For
all
sure.
right. Well, you have a great night, and I'm sure I'll see you.
Sounds good. Happy holidays, everybody.
All right. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so there he is, Team Victor. Definitely take a time out if you can. A lot of people fanned him up, so definitely go to his streams, check him out. He definitely is someone that offers a lot of advice to people when they're going through something, and it can be anything. I mean, from the times that I've been at his broadcast, I mean, it can vary from one end of the spectrum to the other. And it's the same thing. He does things to have fun, but if somebody comes in and it's someone's having a problem, everything stops, and that is who is the focus. So definitely check him out. He's a good guy, and we'll go from there. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for all the likes. Thank you for sharing out the broadcast. And yeah, next week I'm not going to even tell you who's on next week because you wouldn't believe me if I told you. So we're going to leave that for a surprise. But thank you again, everybody, for being here. And we'll see you next week. Or probably throughout the week. But yeah. So bye, guys.